to the bright side.
Hello.
Hello. Greetings.
I was wondering if you could answer a very easy question. My mother had a stroke, and she's taking Dr. Wallig's Healthy Brain and Body Pack, and we just learned she needs to add the night acids because she wasn't able to digest the oil. But she wants to know, she's heard you talk so many times, she wants to know, can she apply the oil to the skin? Is it as effective that way?
Which oil are you talking about? Essential fatty acid oil?
Essential fatty acid plus, and we've added some gamma vitamin E to help the brain.
Okay, now she wants to know if she can apply to the skin in order to get internal results?
Yes.
No, that's not going to happen. She can apply to the skin to get some skincare results, especially vitamin E. And actually, even essential fatty acids, if you break open one of those capsules and apply it to a wound, along with vitamin E, you can accelerate the healing of that wound. So you can get some nice topical benefits. You can get some moisturizing benefits, skin healing benefits, maybe anti-aging benefits even, but you're not going to get any systemic internal benefits by using the essential fatty acids topically. Is that what you meant?
Yes. Is there anything, the oils are making her very nauseous.
Yeah. How old is your mom?
She's 81. She lost the left eye, but she's lost no cognitive or speech, so she knows what she's doing, and she's the Youngevity person, and she's insisting on them, but she can't keep them down. Yeah,
but that's not unusual. It's a little more dramatic than typical. She is 81 years old. She's not absorbing her fats, and this is very important for a couple of reasons. Number one, because she's not going to get the benefit of the EFAs when she takes them if she's not absorbing them. But number two, she's not going to be able to absorb vitamin A, she's not going to absorb vitamin E, D, or K, and she's not going to absorb nutrients that are in vegetables. You know, vegetables are loaded with fatty nutrients, and if you have any fat malabsorption issues, and many people do, if you had a gallbladder taken out, you have liver disease, you're just getting older and have digestive issues, Crohn's disease, celiac disease, intestinal problems, stomach problems, there's a whole bunch of reasons why you can have fat malabsorption. You're not going to be able to get the benefit of these very important nutrients, and these fatty nutrients are growth and repair nutrients, and your mom needs these. So what I'd be doing is, first of all, when she takes her essential fatty acids, have her take them with the digestive enzymes. Have you tried that yet?
I have not. That's the ultimate enzymes?
That's the ultimate enzymes. Have her take her digestive enzymes and her essential fatty acids together. Have her take her digestive enzymes with her vegetables, and it would help her. It would help if she ground up her vegetables, maybe put them in a Vitamix or a blender, and then add oil to the vegetables. You can add either hemp seed oil, flaxseed oil, Udo's blend, and that will help pull some of that fatty material out of the vegetables and make it easier for her body to access them, and then take them with the digestive enzymes. Also, you can use something called bile salts. Now, there's some bile salts in the ultimate enzymes, but it wouldn't hurt you to throw in some extra bile salts. That's spelled B-I-L-E, bile salts, with the digestive enzymes, with the vegetables, with her EFAs. And then if it were me, if it was my mom, I would be having her take 20,000 international units of vitamin A, 400 international units of vitamin E, stupendously, by the way, important for the heart and for any kind of circulatory issues, 100 milligrams of coenzyme Q10, maybe 5,000 micrograms of vitamin K2, and then perhaps 5,000 or so international units of vitamin D3. All of this with the digestive enzymes, with the bile salts, and then you might also want to throw in some apple cider vinegar. Go get some lecithin granules. That's spelled L-E-C-I-T-H-I-N, lecithin granules. Do maybe a little half a scoop or a scoopful of lecithin granules, and you can mix them up in water or blend them up in water and have your mom drink them down. Do all of that together, and then you may even want to throw in some pancreatin, which is pancreatic enzymes that can help your mom absorb her fats. And do all of this together and see if that helps reduce some of the discomfort that she gets when she takes her fats. In a way, ma'am, the discomfort is actually a good thing because it's telling her that she's not absorbing her fats, and she can use a reduction in that discomfort as a diagnostic tool to assess whether or not she's on the right track. Does that make sense? As she gets better and feels less discomfort, you'll know that you're on the right track.
She's already gluten-free, and so she's very attuned to what bothers her, so this is great.
Awesome. That's awesome. And you know what, if you want, have your mom send me an email, ben@ksco.com. Put her phone number on there. I'll give her some personal help as well. Okay, Marilyn?
Thanks so much.
Okay, God bless. Have a beautiful day.
Bye-bye.
Ben, wife, 60 years old, 115 pounds. I have her on the blood sugar pack. Little history. 3 strokes, mini strokes in the back of her brain that controls speech, eyes, blah, 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 whatever.
Okay.
They could not find a reason for the stroke, but they had her on all the 2 different cholesterol medicines.
Before or after? Before the stroke?
Before.
Well, of course they're not going to blame the medicine. They're not going to blame the medicine, but, that could very likely have had an effect. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I told the neurosurgeon I knew what it was the cholesterol medicine. She didn't say nothing. She just hung her head and didn't look at me. But anyways, all right. 2 different blood pressure medicines. I've got her off all that crap. Got her down. She's on right now 5 milligrams of a blood pressure medicine, but she's still having these dizzy spells and blurred vision.
Okay. Is there residual? Did they tell you there's residual damage in the brain?
Yeah, a little bit. They said there was a little bit of blockage.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. Well, I got the picture here. Let me give you a couple ideas. First of all, she's compromised. She's got some breakdown issues, and she's going to have to take, for the rest of her life, she's going to have to take special care in how she treats her body, most especially what she puts inside her body. Of course, that means food. Any pro-inflammatory food needs to be avoided like the plague. There's no room for error given her stroke and the residual damage in her age and her blood sugar problem. She doesn't have any room for error. She doesn't have any room to indulge herself in the standard American diet. It's extremely important that she stays away from processed foods and inflammatory foods. Your inflammatory foods are mostly foods that are processed and foods that are sugar foods and processed fats, hydrogenated or trans fats. So she's not going to be able to eat like her friends anymore if she's really serious about taking care of herself. The good news is that she can take care of herself. She can do a lot of good things, but she's not going to be able to participate in the same kinds of social activities that her friends are participating in at barbecues and at restaurants and that kind of thing. So she's got to be super, super, super vigilant about her food intake, sticking to whole foods, foods that are not processed, foods that don't have a lot of ingredients in them. The best way to go is going to be to up her protein, use a protein powder. I like whey protein. If she can't do the whey, then she should use hemp seed powder. There's also a new protein powder out that's made with sprouts, raw sprout powder, and you can find that. That can be helpful also, although nothing's as good as whey protein. But if you can't do the whey, do the hemp seed or the sprout powder for her protein. In fact, she should probably be eating sprouts. In fact, we should all be eating sprouts. Have her focus on eating less food. The less food she eats, the more energy her body will have to do the repair. And the less toxins it's going to have to deal with, the less processing of toxicity it's going to have to deal with. All food requires processing, and that processing requires energy that's going to be taken away from the healing process. So more protein, less calories, less caloric intake. This will add years to her life, by the way, in addition to helping her feel better. Secondly, make sure she's getting enough essential fatty acids. I'd be using the Ultimate EFAs from Youngevity. Three capsules 3 times a day is a good starting point for her. Have her use the essential fatty acids after meals, and it probably would be a good idea for her to get on some digestive enzymes both after meals and between meals. After meals, the digestive enzymes will help her absorb her food, and then between meals, the digestive enzymes have anti-inflammatory properties. And Guitar Paul, by the way, I forgot to mention that. If you're still listening, the digestive enzymes are wonderfully anti-inflammatory for your friend. So for your wife, John, digestive enzymes, after meals, along with the essential fatty acids and apple cider vinegar. Now, stabilizing the blood sugar is going to be very important. I put her on the sweeties. Did you say she's on the sweeties already?
Yeah, she's on sweeties, yeah.
Good deal. Continue on the sweeties, continue on after meals, and have her on the Beyond Tangy tangerine if she's not already on it. You may also want to throw in some extra B vitamins, especially vitamins B1 and B3, which are super important for sugar metabolism. And then also the mineral zinc is very important for the circulatory system as well as for sugar metabolism, as is the mineral magnesium. And then also the amino acids taurine and arginine can be helpful for brain health as well as for blood sugar health, and there's so much more here. John, if you could call back tomorrow, that'd be awesome, because there's a lot more that I want to tell you about dealing with stroke issues and residual damage from strokes.
We are talking to Todd in Texas. You there, Todd?
Yes.
Okay, so your dad, you said, had a stroke. Did they say what kind of stroke it was? Was there any bleeding?
It was ischemic.
It was ischemic, okay.
Blood clot, but it had blood inside it.
Okay, got it. All right, well, here's the deal. The most important thing you could do for a stroke victim, I'll tell you about supplements here in a minute, but the most important thing you can do for anybody who has a stroke is you got to reduce any kind of stress, physiologic stress that the body is under. That means that the most important physiologic stress is going to be through the digestive system. The less he eats, the better off he's going to be as long as he gets his nutrition. That's number one. As we've said so many times in this program, eating means inflammation. Inflammation is a major stressor, especially if blood is not circulating as it should. So eating less food and especially avoiding food that causes any kind of digestive distress or problems. Make sense so far?
Yes.
Okay, that's number one. You want to think energy with a stroke. When somebody has a stroke, it is absolutely vital that all of the body's energy resources are mobilized towards recovery, towards healing. And that means anything that puts a burden on the body has to be relieved, has to be eliminated. Food is the biggest culprit. Anoxia or hypoxia, which means low blood oxygen, is another big problem I would have in practicing deep breathing techniques. I'll get into supplements here in a second. These are non-supplemental strategies that are very important, not just for stroke victims, for everybody. Avoiding problem foods. This is a very important point, by the way, guys. When somebody has a stroke, that's a dramatic manifestation of a body in breakdown, but we're all in breakdown to a certain extent. So having a stroke or recovery from a stroke or using nutritional or other strategies for dealing with a stroke are going to be the same kind of things that we all have to do. It's just that your dad obviously has to. It's more important that your dad does it because he's got some damage going on. So number one, reducing the load on the digestive system, avoiding problem foods, eating less foods. Probiotics would also be very helpful. Anything he could do to support the digestive system. Digestive enzymes will give him two benefits. Number one, they'll help clear his blood, as we talked about with our last caller. And number two, they'll help him digest his food. That's the second thing I'd be doing. I'd be focusing on fat absorption as well, using bile salts, betaine HCl, pancreatin, lecithin. All of these can help him process and utilize fatty vitamins, which are especially important for the circulatory system. And then supplements. There's a lot of great supplements. Coenzyme Q10 is a must-have, an absolute must-have for all cardiovascular issues. I'd be using 200 milligrams or so of the oil-soluble capsule. Magnesium, same way, must-have for all cardiovascular health issues. Get on the OsteoMag if you're using Youngevity products, 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams a day. Make sure he's getting some sunshine to get his vitamin D. Make sure he's using vitamin E. 400 international units of the mixed tocotrienol form is the best way to go. And then make sure he's getting enough vitamin C. I'd be just mega dosing on vitamin C of 10,000 milligrams. That's 10 grams, 2 teaspoons of the vitamin C powder a day. I like the powder better than the pills. It's more cost effective. But you want to sip on that vitamin C. Have your dad sip on that vitamin C all day long. Of course, the Beyond Tangy tangerine is absolutely critical for anybody dealing with any kind of recovery issues because of its water solubility. It gets nutrients right into the system. And it's also a great source of the B complex, which is also very helpful for brain health issues and cardiovascular health issues, especially niacin. You may actually even want to throw in 100 milligrams at a time to release niacin with your Beyond Tangy tangerine. So many other things. I don't want to marginalize the importance of vitamin K or vitamin D. They're also important. Of course, essential fatty acids are also going to be important. All the fatty nutrients, the essential fatty acids and the fatty vitamins should be taken with all those fat absorption support nutrients and support supplements that I just told you about, and also with fatty meals, and that'll increase his absorption. So you got the Beyond Tangy tangerine, magnesium, coenzyme Q10, vitamin E, the B complex, Beyond Tangy tangerine, OsteoMag. You got a lot of stuff you could do, but probably the single most important thing you could do is reduce the load or the work that the body has to do, especially the digestive work it has to do, so that it can mobilize all its resources towards recovery. Okay?
Okay, and they said they wanted to put him on Plavix when he gets out, and I don't.
You know what I'm going to tell you about that, but that's something you got to decide. Plavix is an awful drug.
I want to know what to do instead of that.
It's not like instead. Plavix is a blood thinning drug. Now, I don't know what your dad's medical condition is. It may be that he's in an emergency state and he needs some kind of emergency measure like a drug. I hate drugs, but there's times in an emergency where you need them. Now, if he doesn't have an emergency condition, then keeping digestive enemies out of his system will reduce clotting. Clotting is a sign that blood is getting poisoned through the digestive tract. Breathing will thin the blood. Oxygen is a great blood thinner, guys. Under conditions of low oxygen, the blood clots. So just breathing deeply, practicing deep breathing techniques is a great way to thin the blood. Vitamin E is a wonderful blood thinner. Omega-3 fatty acids, another wonderful blood thinner. Heck, water is a great blood thinner. So these are all ways that you can thin the blood without Plavix, but I can't tell you not to do the Plavix because I don't know what your dad's condition is.
It's high blood pressure.
Well, there's ways to deal with that as well. Everything I told you, all the supplements I told you about is for the stroke and breathing and reducing physiologic stress and eliminating digestive stressors will lower his blood pressure.
Great.
Okay, buddy? Good luck, man. God bless you and your dad. I hope everything works out.